It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to the Science Bowl. The teams you're going to meet today have been here once before. They've won their matches, and today's winner moves on to the semifinal round, maybe a future Science Bowl champ that you're looking at today. Nice to have you here. On our Science Bowl show, we test science IQs. We have 6 categories of questions, everything from green things, plants, to Zoo Parade and Dateline Science. 50 points just for showing up, no penalties for incorrect answers, and 18 questions for each of our 2 teams. Today, we're featuring a team from Phyllis C. Williams Elementary School and Mattaponi Elementary School. So let's meet that team from Mattaponi. They're all wearing matching shirts. They're proclaiming that they love science. Would you please say hello to Josh? Hey, Josh, wave to everybody at home if you would. Good player. He's a 5th grader. Nigel is here with another 5th grader. Hey, Nigel, welcome back. And joining the team for the first time is Benny. Hey, Benny, we're glad to have you. Also a 5th grader. All right, gentlemen, let's get to the game. We start with the green things category, a 5, a 15, and a 25-point question. Here is your 5-point question. If you know Dr. Seuss, you know the Cat in the Hat. Listen to the Cat in the Hat as he gives advice in a gardening book, and I want you to supply the last rhyming word to the following quote. The last word has to rhyme. Listen. From the giant gum tree to this very small weed, every flowering plant started out life as a what?
What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
It has to rhyme. But it has to rhyme.
You know something?
You are rhyming the word weed. From the giant gum tree to this very small weed, every flowering plant started out life as a seed. That is correct. Yes, good. All right, 15 points in green things. A waxy covering on leaves is very important because it makes the leaf's surface hydrophobic. Hydrophobic, meaning it does what to water?
Falls off. Like it doesn't. Like.
Can I pass the question to Nigel?
One, like water is hydrophobic. It doesn't evaporate. It just like rolls off. Like when something's hydrophobic, like the water won't go through.
That's correct. That is exactly correct. Nicely done, Nigel. Phobic means to repel, so the water rolls off the surface. If it stayed on the leaf, it could be a center for bacteria. It could rot. It could damage the leaf. You're 2 in a row. Let's go for 3. This is a multiple choice question for 25 points. Multiple choice. Plants with a very short life cycle, like desert flowers that spring up quickly when it rains and then they fade away quickly after forming seeds, are known as ephemerals, epiphytes, or perennials. A plant with a very short life cycle. Ephemerals, epiphytes, or perennials.
What do you guys think?
I'm not sure.
Nigel, you got anything?
You got 1 chance out of 3. Okay, so let's go to the captain here. Josh, you pick one. Ephemerals, epiphytes, or perennials? What's your answer?
I'm going to think epiphytes.
Epiphytes. Epiphytes are actually plants like orchids that don't have soil. Their roots just hang in the air. Perennials are plants that come back year after year after year. So the correct answer was ephemerals. Ephemeral means brief, very brief. Let's go to the zoo for 5 points. We're going to stick with Dr. Seuss. What pachyderm, created by Dr. Seuss, had exceptional hearing, able to hear the tiny who's in Whoville living on a speck of dust?
Elephant.
Horton who?
Elephant.
Elephant
It's
is
probably-
right. Horton the elephant, correct. Horton the elephant. A person's a person no matter how small. 15 points. Good answer, gentlemen. If you were looking at the 7 classification groups to which, say, a rhino belonged, you'd start with he belongs to the animal kingdom, the vertebrate phylum because he has a backbone, and this class of animals because a rhino is warm-blooded, has hair, and feeds its young with milk.
Mammal.
What? Mammals is the class. You got it. Good. Let's show you a picture for 25. In the zoo, map makers long ago feared beasts that lurked in the oceans and on faraway lands. On those maps, there were warning, there be dragons. That would actually apply in real life to what group of islands in the South Pacific where dragons of the same name, there's one of them, actually live.
Komodo dragon.
That's right. That is the island of Komodo. Perfect. You guys are doing really well today. Really well. Keep it up. 3 more questions before we take our break. While you use your little finger to make a pinky promise, you use this finger to point to something. A finger that has what same name as the list of topics at the end of a book?
Index finger.
That is the index finger and the index at the end of a book. Perfect. Body for 15. It used to be said that you should not go swimming for an hour after eating to avoid developing one of these involuntary and painful muscle tightening events.
Cramps.
Cramps is right, yes. And we now know that that's not necessarily true. You're doing so well. Here's the last question for you before we take our break. A company that helps you trace your ancestors back through generations calls itself 23andMe. The 23 stands for the number of these in your body. Each one of your cells has 23 of these.
Chromosomes.
Chromosomes is absolutely correct. And I think you aced that opening round there. I think you just missed that one. All right, your score is 160. Oh my goodness, that is a wonderful score. So let's see if you can keep that momentum up in the second half. Joshua is there. He can't believe how well they've done. You've done your homework. All right, guys, we'll see you in a few minutes. It is now time to meet that team from Phyllis Williams. Let's say hello to their captain, Allison. Hey, Allison, give a nice wave to everybody out there watching you. Joined by Delali. Hey, Delali, good to have you with us. She's a 5th grader. And Ainsley, welcome to the program. Give us a nice wave. All right, good luck to you. Do as well as you did this morning when we saw you last, when we last taped the show. All right, P.E. Williams, let's get started with the green things questions. Here we go for 5 points. The government agency that makes money, bills and coins, has what same name as a popular herb?
Economy? Delali and ideas? A bank? No way.
It's called the U.S. Mint. Mint is an herb. They mint money. All right, let's go to the 15-point question. It's a visual. Let's have a look, please. Isn't this a neat flower? It's called the Jack in the Pulpit. You see the little preacher standing up there? The Jack in the Pulpit wildflower is actually a bit like a mammal in that it is homeothermic, meaning that it makes this to make the little spadix under the hood, the little preacher, more attractive to pollinating flies. Homeothermic means that that plant, like a mammal, can make what?
Heat. What'd you say?
Speak up. Heat is correct, yes. It makes its own heat, and that warmed up little spadix, that gets the flies to come in. It's like skunk cabbage. Skunk cabbage is able to make its own heat, and it is able to get pollinated well before the other plants. Good answer. Heat it is for 15 points. Let's go to 25 points in green things. The thick epidermis on the outside of a cactus helps keep the plant from losing water through this T initial process, one that sounds like another plant process, respiration. But this is a T initial process for losing water. It's not evaporation, it's called this. It sounds like respiration. That's a tough one. That's called transpiration. It transpires the water and it goes out into the atmosphere. And of course, cactuses don't want to lose water because they are in such a dry environment. Let's go to the zoo. A hungry predator would have to be really, really hungry to risk the quills of this prickly mammal.
Porcupine?
Porcupine, yeah. Yeah, porcupine, apparently they taste good, but boy, you have to really, really want to be a masochist and risk getting stuck with all those quills. All right, let's go to 15 points. Good answer there. It is said that it is easier for one of these humped animals, known as the ship of the desert, to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven.
Camel.
Camel, absolutely right, absolutely right. So the chances of a rich man reaching heaven are pretty darn slim, you know, about as possible as a camel getting through the eye of a needle. Good answer. 25 points. Hunters who kill protected animals, like elephants, to get their ivory tusks, have what same name as people who cook a raw egg in simmering water for about 3 minutes.
Poacher?
Poacher, you got it. Nice work. All right, you got all three of those in the zoo. Terrific. You're on a roll. Bodyy Systems, 3 questions before you take your first break. This is interesting. You probably never thought about this. It turns out that when we humans breathe, we unconsciously alternate taking turns drawing in air into one of these and then the other.
Nostrils.
Think about how you breathe.
Nostrils.
Nostrils is right, yes. One nostril and then the other. We're not even aware that we do that, but we alternate. Good answer. 15 points. If someone slaps you, the Bible says you should turn the other one of these body parts towards your attacker. Areas that have the same name as either side of your bum.
Cheek. A cheek?
Cheek is right. Absolutely right. Good. You're on a roll. Let's get this last one for 25. You'll have a great score. Your tonsils, found at the back of your throat and part of your body's immune system, are thought to prevent infections from attacking what 2 other body systems that begin with the letter, one begins with the letter D and the other with the initial R. What 2 body systems, one beginning with the letter D, one beginning with the letter R, are places where your tonsils help prevent infections?
Digestive and respiratory.
And respiratory, absolutely right. You got them both, 25 points. Good round. You, with that answer, respiratory and digestive, you're at 155 points. All right, keep that momentum going. We'll see you again in a couple minutes. Keep up your great work, and it's nice to have you here, Ainsley. You're a great addition to the team. All right, let's welcome back that team from Mattaponi and find out about our players. And as you saw, they don't make many mistakes. Let's find out about how they prepared for the game. Josh, what did you guys do to get ready for the Science Bowl?
Well, what we did was look back at all your other videos, and we looked at your clues that you give out, and we tried to give them all. And we also practiced our periodic tables.
Well, it all shows, and you're doing a terrific job here, and you yourself are a great captain. Keep it up. Let's talk to your teammates. Let's talk to Nigel. Nigel, you seem to also know an awful lot about science, so tell us how you prepared for the show. Josh was telling us you watched some old videos. Did you do anything else?
Yes. So we watched videos, but me and another person that was just in the thing but didn't make it, we watched this one video and we noticed that you like repeat, that you say like questions, like very similar questions. So we realized like the more we practice those videos, the higher chances of us getting like the questions in our own game right.
Absolutely right, because we try not to use the same questions, but we vary the questions. We move them around a little bit, and you know, nothing beats homework. And by watching those shows, you get a sense of the kinds of questions we ask and the way I ask the questions, and that is certainly something that you learned well because you're doing a terrific job. Keep it up in the second half here. Let's talk to Benny. Hey, Benny, good to have you on the show. You seem to know an awful lot about science yourself. How did you get so smart in science?
Well, like they said, we watched some old videos, and we practiced a lot, and we really worked hard to get here, and yeah, and we paid attention in class.
You certainly do. And you know, readers do very well on the Science Bowl, people who read, and I have an idea that you guys read a lot. Am I right, Benny?
Yes.
Wonderful. Good to have you on the team. Good luck in the second half here. All right, Mattaponi, I have 9 more questions for you, and let's see if you can get them all. We're going to start with the Let's Get Physical category for 5 points. Here we go. Although Jupiter is a huge gaseous planet, at its core, like at the core of all stars, is this metal with the chemical symbol Fe, capital F, small e. Name that metal.
All right, what helium. Helium.
No, Fe is iron. Iron. He is helium. He. Fe comes from the word ferric. Ferric. Ferrocarril, the iron monster, the train. Let's go to 15 points. You might have done this in class. If not, I recommend it. If your teacher gives you a whole stack of graduated test tubes, and you fill it with juice from a red cabbage, it makes a red juice, and you put a little dry ice in there, and then add lemon juice to the first one, baking soda to the second one, vinegar to the third one, they're all going to turn different colors: blue, red, orange. They'll turn different colors based on this measure of a substance's acidity or alkalinity. What is that scale known as that tells you whether something is an acid or a base and how strong or weak it is?
So what do you guys think? What is it? Hey, do you know?
That's known as the pH scale, small p, capital H. They did that experiment on the Ellen DeGeneres show one afternoon. I don't know if you ever caught that in rerun, but it's a great thing to try. Try it at home. This one you can't do any damage. 25 points, and let's get physical. When a freely falling object can't fall any faster because of the resistance of the air, we say that it has reached its terminal what?
You guys know that thing, Kennedy?
And can't fall any faster because of air resistance, we say that that object has reached its terminal what?
Gravity.
Not gravity, good try. Velocity. Its terminal velocity was the right answer there. Let's go to Potpourri. I like this question. There's a science fiction book titled, "Do Androids Dream of Electric Versions of This Farm Animal that we all traditionally count to go to sleep?"
Sheep.
Sheep, that's right. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Maybe they do. Good answer, 5 points. In the National Hockey League, the Seattle team mascot is the Kraken. Release the Kraken. A legendary sea monster that is said to threaten sailors off the coast of Norway. It is mythological. It is probably based on what real-life giant version of this cephalopod?
Octopus.
Octopus, yes, or giant squid. We would have taken either. Good. All right. Let's see if you can earn your 25 points in this last one in Potpourri. GPS devices mean you never have to be lost again. The GPS system relies on 24 satellites that give precise locations by pinpointing the exact degrees and minutes of these two L-initialed units. Invisible lines that run north-south around the world and east-west around the world. Name them both.
Longitude and latitude.
Longitude and latitude.
You got them both for 25 points. Perfect. You guys are just amazing today. Dateline for 5. Many people suffering from COVID-19, especially senior citizens, found that they lost these two senses, which are interrelated.
Tasting as well.
Okay, so one is tasting, and what's the other one? Smell.
Taste and smell is absolutely right. Good for 5 points. Dateline for 15. There's a new technology out, get this, that lets you change the color of your car. You don't have to repaint it. You can change the color of your car. Your choices are you can have black, white, or gray. Now you can do it just for cosmetic reasons because I like the look of it. But for thermal reasons, meaning you choose what different color car for summer and winter. What two colors would you choose for those two seasons and why?
I'll pick white because black makes like I don't know how to explain it, but when you wear black, it's like it's hotter. So in the winter, it'll be black. So like black for the opposite reason.
Okay, and tell me about white.
White, I guess.
Okay, I need. Benny,
Come on,
you got
Benny.
anything?
Come on, Josh. Can you help Nigel out? He's doing all the legwork here.
White would be good because for summer because I want to match the color of snow and.
I like that. Very creative. A white car reflects the rays of the sun. The black car absorbs the rays of the sun. So you were right about that second part, Nigel, but we can't give you the points there, but that was a good try. All right, last question of the game is a visual. Let's show you a picture of an astronaut. The new United States quarters being produced this year to honor outstanding American women include poet Maya Angelou and this woman, the first American woman to fly in space. For 25 points, can you name her?
Mae Jemison.
Mae Jemison.
Mae Jemison was the first African-American woman. This woman here was even before Mae Jemison. This is Sally Ride. Sally Ride. All right, you had 160 at the break. Now you finished up with 210 points. That's a great score, guys. Let's see if it holds up and gets you into the semifinals. Good work. Pat on the back time. Yellow shirt, good luck for you. All right, it's now time to bring back that team from Phyllis E. Williams, and let's find out a little bit about our players and their school. Let's go to Allison. And Allison, tell us how you prepared to be on the Science Bowl. You've been doing so well. What were some of the keys to your success?
Okay, so sometimes, like every day, we would join this Zoom meeting and study, watch the old videos, read articles, and learn the periodic table.
Wow, and you're definitely that. And you, for as young as you are, you're very sophisticated, and you're coming up with some wonderful answers here. Tell me what it is about your school, Phyllis E. Williams. What do you like about it? What's the best thing?
I like that our school is a Spanish immersion and that we're bilingual and bicultural school.
Oh, that's a feather in your cap that you speak 2 languages and you're being instructed in both languages as well. Actually, you're instructed in Spanish. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. You're doing such a great job here. You're a good captain, Allison. Let's talk to Delali. Delali, nice to have you back on the show. Tell us about some of the things you did to get ready for today. I was remarking before, you guys are a safety patrol, so you have a lot of responsibility, and I know you're a good student.
Well, to get ready for the Science Bowl, we, as Allison said, we went on the Zoom and we watched some of your old videos and tried to answer some of the questions. And then we would read articles, study our prefixes, suffixes, and root words.
Boy, you did all the right things. You did everything right. You wanted to say something else. What else did you do?
Periodic table.
Periodic table, yes. You checked all the boxes here. What do you like about Phyllis C. Williams?
What I like about my school is that we've all been together since kindergarten.
That's just wonderful. So you're all like family. You're all like family, and that's very, very important. Thanks for sharing that. Good luck in the second half. You're doing a great job. And let's talk to the last person, Ainsley. Ainsley, nice to have you on the show. You're a real asset. How do you know so much science?
I just practice on the Zoom like Allison and Delali.
Yeah, you're too humble. I bet you're a reader and you keep up with current events because you're just right on top of things. Tell me about your school. What do you like about Phyllis C. Williams?
I like that Phyllis C. Williams works with the parents of the students to help make decisions for the school.
Well, because parents are teachers too. So, they're doing everything they can to support the teachers in the classroom. That's a wonderful thing to mention. Thank you, Ainsley, for that. And good luck in the second half here, because you're doing a nice job. Okay, let's get back to your questions here. I've had 9 more questions for you. Let's get to the Let's Get Physical category. Phyllis C. Williams for the 5-point question. How many of you have ever been to the ocean, to the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean? If you go to the ocean, the waves come crashing in. But you learn real quick that there's something called the undertow. As the water rushes back into the ocean and you can get pulled out, it can be scary. The undertow is caused by what force?
Gravity?
Gravity is absolutely correct. Yes, it is pulling it back out there. It wants that water. Good answer. 15 points. While salts known as calcium chloride and magnesium chloride will both melt ice on an icy sidewalk, the most commonly used salt as a de-icer is this chloride. Not calcium, not magnesium,
Sodium?
but this chloride. Say it again.
Sodium?
Sodium chloride, NaCl is the formula. Absolutely right. Thank you, Ainsley, for 25 points. Last one in this category. Let's get physical. For the human eye to respond to light, your eyes are responding to light right now, the light has to be a minimum of 5 of these P as in Paul, 5 of these P initial units to excite the cells in your retina. Light is measured in what P initialed units? That's a tough one. It's called photons. Photons. P-H-O-T-O-N. File that away for future use. Let's go to Potpourri for 5 points. You'll get this one. A popular book and television series called All Things Great and Small features one of these kinds of doctors that specializes in treating animals.
A veterinarian.
Veterinarian, that's it. Yep. I got a picture for you for Potpourri. 15 points, let's have a look. Look at that man and look at the size of that creature. Fossil evidence was found recently in England of an ichthyosaur. That's what you're looking at right now. An ichthyosaur, a kind of reptile that resembled, however, what other kind of creature?
Crocodile?
Ichthy is a prefix. I know you said something about studying prefixes and suffixes. Ichthy, I-C-H-T-Y, is a prefix for fish. It looks like a fish. And ichthyosaur was like a combination of a fish and a reptile. 25 points in Potpourri. If you've ever gotten real close to a housefly, you don't really want to, but you'll notice that the eye of a fly, just like the eye of a dragonfly or a mantis shrimp, are multifaceted, little facets all over, unlike ours. That eye has what same name as a microscope with multiple lenses. If you have a microscope in your classroom, probably just has a single lens you look through. That is a simple microscope. But if there are multiple lenses, it's known as a compound microscope, a compound microscope. Let's go to DATELINE for 5 points. The most endangered mammal in the United States is the red version of this lupine creature, once considered as the new name of the Washington football team. They were going to call it, now remember, I'm asking for an animal here. They did change the name to Commanders, but before that, they were considering a lot of different names, one of which was the red what? Mammals that are called lupine mammals.
Redskins? Red pandas?
Not red
Redskin. Redskin.
No. Redskin was the old name, and red pandas is a good guess, but they were going to be called the red wolves. The red wolves was a name that they were suggesting. A lupine creature is a wolf. Let's try 15 points. I think you'll get this one. The name of this most famous and doomed of ships, built in 1911, suggests that it was made from the metallic element capital T, small I. That element wasn't well known at the time and was very expensive. Name that doomed ship that sank on its maiden voyage.
The name of the ship was the Titanic?
That is correct. That is correct. And Ti is the symbol for the chemical element titanium. Excellent. Last question for you for 25 points. You need these 25 points. Let's get it. Listen carefully. You know this man because this famous physicist, who we associate with discoveries like black holes, was confined to a wheelchair by Lou Gehrig's disease for most of his life, once said, "My expectations for life were reduced to 0 at age 21. Everything since then has been a bonus." Who was that man?
I believe it's Stephen Hawking.
It is indeed Stephen Hawking for 25 points. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Your final tally with that answer of Stephen Hawking gets you to 220 points. Let's see if that's going to make you get to the semifinals. We'll let you know in just a moment. Good playing, guys. Good playing. Well, I'm sure you were hard-pressed to keep up with our students this afternoon. Yes, they just went through those questions like no one's business. They are elite students. We're proud of each and every one of them. And we were just saying for the coaches and the principals who are out there right now, this was a nail-biter because our score came down to just 5 points difference. Our final tally today is Mattaponi 210, Phyllis E. Williams 220. So Phyllis E. Williams, congratulations. You are headed to the semifinals next month. And Mattaponi, you are headed to even greater glory. What a team you brought to us today. And I know you're going to be back and playing with us again. Promise me you will do that. And promise me you'll tune in again on the Science Bowl to watch these teams play again. Join us for the semifinals and the championship match as we get closer to the end of our 36th season. Couldn't have done it without you. Until then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye, everybody.